Hello everybody, this is General Yanis, and today in Death Guard Tactics I'm returning with the rapid fire answers to frequently asked the Death Guard questions. So this is part 3 where I've done a couple of questions and answers before. So with no further ado, let's get started. So today, the 6th of May, a couple more units are getting ready for my 2000 point upcoming battle against Custodes this weekend. So I'm really looking forward to meeting to playing the Emperor's bodyguard, their special troops. So that will be interesting. But in this video, I will attempt to answer complex questions in a simple and quick way. And I've already made 2 of this type of videos. So the link to the part 1 and part 2 are in the description of this video. And normally the channel idea is to provide you with a lot of data and reviews and ideas, etc. So you can create your own opinion, but sometimes you just need a quick answer. So in this video, I will be looking at the Sigil of Decay, the Forgeworld models for Death Guard, summoning demons, the War of Spider, best secondaries for Death Guard, and more. So let's take a look. So starting off with the question that typically comes up in the Facebook group: is the Sigil of Decay worth it for my Plague Marines? I have done the math, and the short answer is no. Of course, the Sigil of Decay will improve the bolters, but for the 10 points it cost, you could get better output by giving one of the Plague Marines a Blight Launcher instead. The Sigil could be helpful against high toughness targets, especially, but just that the Blight Launcher does it better. Also, the Sigil of Decay, where you are getting 6s to wound, 6s to hit, are auto wounding. Don't have any special synergy if you have virulent rounds, Ars Contaminator, etc. Anything that helps the wound roll doesn't really benefit the Sigil of Decay. The Sigil of Decay is auto wounding. And then we have the bolter with only damage 1 and AP 0 that a lot of the targets can save. Just here briefly, the blue line is the 10-man Plague Marine with bolters, and the orange line is if we add the Sigil of Decay for 10 points. This is point corrected, so of course it's helping. But the gray line is if we just give one of these 10 Plague Marines a Blight Launcher, and all these 3 here have reroll once. Rerolling the hits, of course, help the Sigil of Decay, but it helps also all the weapons. So all in all, Sigil of Decay of course improves the bolters, but adding a Blight Launcher for the same point cost would be the better option, looking at the math at least. So another question is, can I take Chaos Forgeworld models in my Death Guard army, or I didn't know I could take the Terax drill, or oh, can I bring Contemptors, etc. So the answer is yes, you can do that. So the Imperial Armor Compendium, it had an FAQ clarifying this in the Warhammer community page. You can download the FAQs, so that if you look here, many Chaos Space Marine units can be fielded in Death Guard and Thousand Sun armies. And if they have the Legion keyword, you can replace it with a Death Guard or Thousand Suns. So if they have the Legion and Nurgle, basically you can make it a Death Guard unit. And not only can we take such units as the Contemptor, Leviathan, Terax Drill, etc., the Hellblade, but they will also get the Bubonic Astartes keyword that can help us with secondaries. But they will also get the Plague Company keyword, so the Contemptors can be from a Plague Company, etc. And that, of course, improves. They can benefit from the contagions that other units will have, and abilities, etc., coming from a Plague Company. So go ahead and utilize this. So what about Chaos Demons? What about summoning the demons? This is quite a big question, and the summoning ability is no longer described in the Death Guard Codex, and maybe you could argue that in the Chaos Demons, the units themselves are summonable, but in Death Guard Codex it doesn't specify that our characters can do it. Even assuming that they could do it, the consensus seems to be that even if we could summon them, we would be losing the contagions, but that's of course a bit disputable, and it's not super clear. But it's difficult to find a good explanation for the summoning, and if that still is a thing. It looks quite likely that even if we could, we would be losing contagions. You can of course take detachments of Chaos Demons as usual. You can have a mix. You can have a detachment of Death Guard, detachments of Chaos Demons. You can have access to Nurglings, the Great and Clean one. They can still do a lot of things, but eventually that would lead to the Death Guard units losing the contagions. That is quite a centerpiece for Death Guard right now. Let's see when the Chaos Space Marines and the Chaos Demon Codexes come out, if there is more specification on this, and if maybe in the new Charadon Warzone they will have a new Army of Renown under Be'lakor. The Book of Fire maybe could have some rules for the summoning. I'm not quite sure it will come. So the War of the Spider Psychic Awakening, can we use those rules there? The War of the Spider that came out at the end of 8th and had some very good rules and interesting relics and traits, etc. Unfortunately, no, we cannot use it. The new codex basically invalidates any rules of the War of the Spider. Everything that was there that is still there is in the new codex, and the other things have been changed. And trust me, I also miss the good old Demon's Toll relic, giving it to the Noxious Blightbringer, giving a 5+ Inval aura to Plague Marines. That was really a nice relic in my book, and of course other good rules in there. But unfortunately, no longer valid. Of course, if you are playing among friends and you just agree to use some of these rules, I guess anything goes between friends. But yeah, you can't use it in match play normally. So another question is, I have the Lord Felthius and the Tainted Cohort. What can I do with them? Because now they are not part of the Codex. They are not a unit we can take. But there is no need for panicking here. The Lord Felthius is basically a Lord of Contagion. He has the Orb of Desiccation and the Man Reaper, while the Lord of Contagion from Dark Imperium, he has the Plague Reaper. So you can use him just like a standard unnamed Lord of Contagion. So that's quite good, because otherwise it could be difficult also to get a Lord of Contagion at these days. And the Tainted Cohort are basically just 3 Blightlord Terminators, Combi Bolters, Axe, Sword, and a Plague Spewer. That is quite good now for Blightlord Terminators, deep striking with 12-inch range. So 3 more units to add to your collection, and if you had 2 of those, then you already have a 5-man or 6-man squad of Blightlord Terminators. So what are the best secondaries for Death Guard? Of course, this is a complicated question, and this will depend on your list and mission and opponent. However, broadly speaking, secondaries are good that capitalize on Death Guard's units' resilience. Those will be quite good, benefiting our strong point as an army. So while we stand, we fight is one of those. Especially if we can make our army so that the 3 most expensive units are the units with highest resilience. For example, big units of Blight Lords are very resilient for the points. Plague Burst Crawlers are also quite good. So a Plague Burst Crawler is very resilient for 175 points. But for example, if you have a big unit of Plague Marines above 200 points, then the unit of Plague Marines would be selected instead of the Plague Burst Crawler, and the Plague Marines are not as resilient as a Plague Burst Crawler, for example, or Blight Lord. So it needs a bit of tweaking the list if you want to really go with this, so you don't end up that some high cost units are not so durable. If you have Mortarion in your list, he will definitely be one of the most expensive units. It could be a liability for the While We Stand We Fight, because he's such a prime target, so the whole opponent will probably aim to take him down, so then you will not get 5 points from Mortarion, most probably. Grind them down, another alternative in the same category as While We Stand We Fight, could be quite good, especially versus opponent with many smaller units, and if our units also are bigger units and more resilient units, so this gives you points every time you you kill more units than the opponent per round. And there are some generically good secondaries. Engage on all fronts it's a personal favorite, and even if Death Guard is not very fast, we can be present in various table quarters. For example, our blow drones can fly. They are quite fast anyway. Advancing infantry, we can deep strike, so we will have presence in at least 3 table quarters in most of the games, or even 4 with deep strikes. So you should always be able to score something with this, and it doesn't require you to do something specific action or something like this. Deploy Scramblers is also a generically good secondary. In practice, you can succeed with it, getting 10 points at the end without the opponent being able to stop it, and deep striking in opponent's zone. And the Death Guard, 2 of the Death Guard specific are also quite good. The Despoiled Ground, this would need a list with many Bubonic Astartes unit. For example, in this case, Poxwalkers, Demon Engines, Cultists, etc. don't help with this, but if you have a lot of Bubonic Astartes unit, you should be able to score points at the end of the game with this. I personally like the Spread the Sickness better than the Despoiled Crown, contaminating the objectives, and it also allows Poxwalkers to do something. A small unit of Poxwalkers could be scoring you some points in the backfield by infecting objectives. So it's one of the only actions that Poxwalkers can do. But of course, there is a lot of fine tuning here, and I've made a long video about the best secondaries. I'll put the link in the description. Coming to the summary and final thoughts of this video, so there you have it, some quick answers for some more frequently asked Death Guard questions. And of course, if you want to have more nuance and in-depth discussion and analysis for these answers, please check the in-depth reviews and links in the description. Let me know in the comments if you have any other frequently asked questions that could be answered in this type of video. Press like if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel, where I will be bringing you more Death Guard tactics videos and anything Death Guard related, and Math Hammer, Warhammer, and looking also at new factions as they come out and their relation to Death Guard. So if you want to further support my efforts, please visit my Patreon page. And with these words, General Yanis is signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye.